Hello, I'm Martin Cawthron. I'm the author of Memoria Press's Logic and Rhetoric programs. We often get the question, what's different about your logic program than other logic programs that may be out there? And I want to give you three differences, the biggest differences that I see in the program so that you're better equipped to make a choice. The first difference is that we focus on traditional logic. That's the old logic from Aristotle from 2,500 years ago. It really hasn't changed much since then. It's language-centered, okay? It's what you actually use in an argument. And since classical education, since logic in the big field of things in classical education is about language, logic should be a language art. Traditionally, that's what it's been. The modern systems of logic, I studied them when I was in college. They're very mathematical oriented, and they deal with the relationship of symbols. And it's not what you actually use in an argument. I mean, it's helpful, particularly if you're going into computer science. But for actual everyday argument, you really want to focus on the language-oriented traditional logic. The second thing about our books is that I have a lot of exercises. When I went to write our logic programs, I wrote them because I couldn't find a program out there that had enough exercises. I realized if I was going to teach logic and use one of the programs that was on the market at that time, that I was going to have to make up a bunch of my own exercises. So I thought, well, I'm just going to write my own program. And so I chose the language-oriented logic in order to do that, the traditional logic. But there's enough exercises in our programs so that you will master it. We're all about mastery learning. You will master the one chapter before you go on to the next one. If you answer all those exercises, then you'll have it down, all right? The third thing is there are some philosophical differences between traditional logic and these modern systems of logic that most other programs teach. It makes a difference between the number of valid argument forms there are, between how you look at the opposition of statements, contrary, contradictory, all that sort of thing. There's truth tables. A lot of people have done a little smattering of logic in a math course or something. They know these truth tables. Traditional logicians don't believe in those because they're Aristotelian. They're traditional in their thinking about what truth is. They don't believe that you can determine the truth of an if-then statement, for example, by knowing the truth of the thing that comes after if and the truth of the thing that comes after then solely. There's a lot more involved in that. Modern logic was developed by modern philosophers with a book by Bertrand Russell and Alfred North Whitehead. All modern logic programs come from their book, Principia Mathematica. Traditional logic has traditional assumptions about what reality consists of and goes back to Aristotle. They're basically having classical assumptions behind the traditional system. So those are the three reasons I would give for why our program is unique. It focuses on logic as a language art. It focuses on mastery learning and giving you enough exercises to really master the material. And finally, it stays with traditional philosophical assumptions about reality.